Okay, I am Addison, and I will be starting off this presentation. Um, in this presentation, we're doing a comparative analysis of counseling modalities. Just to quickly introduce, um, mental health is a complex, or it is pretty complex, and it can be very unique for each individual person. So therefore, it has to be, so we have to use like unique ways to help our clients get better. We'll be exploring different modalities when it comes to counseling, or just different counseling modalities. The different counseling modalities that we will be covering or just looking at includes individual counseling, group counseling, and family counseling. And then we will start off with individual counseling.
First, we'll talk about individual counseling. The definition of individual counseling is a one-on-one process between client and counselor that encourages growth and well-being. Every person has their own needs and struggles, and in individual counseling, these people's specific concerns are the main focus. Individualized counseling allows a treatment that is designed for the unique person and their unique situation. Some of the goals of individual counseling is to increase self-awareness and self-efficacy, to develop coping skills, to reduce symptoms of anxiety, depression, and distress, and to align with the values of the client as well as improve quality of life. The settings of individual counseling is typically a private practice, but it could also be offered in many other places, such as in a clinic, in hospitals, at universities, or even through government agencies. There are many techniques that are used in individual counseling, and it's hard to cover all of them. Something that is very often used is exploration skills during the exploration phase. The exploration stage is the initial stage that occurs during counseling. This is the time where the counselor builds rapport with their current client. Once trust is built with the client, other methods are implemented. Some example methods include, but are not limited to, CBT, ACT, psychodynamic, humanistic, and existential. And one of the most important techniques that is used in counseling is a collaborative relationship. This meaning that the client and the counselor work hand in hand, and one does not have more power than the other. Some strengths of individual counseling is that it's personalized treatment, one-on-one attention, and it is very private. Limitations include that the counselor is the only perspective that the client is receiving. It can lack sense of shared experiences when compared to group counseling, and it is very expensive.
It's back to me. Group counseling. This is a therapeutic setting involving multiple clients working together under a counselor, sometimes counselors. I love group counseling. I took a class on it like 2 years ago, and it was my favorite class. Okay, some of the goals for group counseling for our clients would be developing interpersonal skills, being able to facilitate self-awareness, build trust, build group cohesion, and then promote change through shared experiences. All of this comes from working, sharing in during the sessions with our peers, being able to take feedback from peers, give feedback from peers, and just being able to work together. It can be kind of a scary experience for some people to go in, for a lot of people to go into group and to be able to share some of these deeper feelings that we have. Um, yeah. The next thing is the setting. So ideally, based on Yalom's book, um, the ideal size is between 7 to 8 members in the group. You can do, it still says it's okay to do between 5 and 10 members in the group, but the ideal is 7 to 8. In my group counseling class that I took about 2 years ago, like I said, The professor said that usually you will start out with a higher number, maybe 12 group members, and then it will kind of whittle down because people will leave within the first maybe 2 or 3 sessions, and then you'll be down to that either 7 or 8 or in between the 5 and 10, making a better group size. Okay, some of the techniques that we try to cultivate in group counseling, or we try to use we try to cultivate some curative factors for our clients. The first is hope, or the installation of hope, universality, altruism, and catharsis. With this, yeah, for hope, we're trying to help our clients believe that they will succeed in therapy. Universality is helping our clients learn that they aren't alone in what they're going through. Altruism is learning to develop concern for others, or empathy. And then catharsis is being able to express our emotions in a group. We're also creating a safe environment for feedback and practice. Counselors screen and select members before the group has been developed. In the screening process, they're looking for members that would work well in the group and benefit from the group, while withholding, or while blocking people that maybe aren't ready for group therapy, or for people that just don't have the just don't have the patience for group counseling. Group counselors also facilitate group connection and cohesion. Some of the strengths associated with group is it's cost effective and affordable for our clients. Promotes universality. You're able to meet with other people that are struggling in different areas, or not in different, in the same areas as you are. And it encourages real-time social learning. In the other therapies, you mainly individual, you're not able to practice too many of those real-time social interactions. Some of the limitations include it's less individual or individualized and individual attention. So you're not going to have as much attention from the counselor. There are risks of confidentiality breach. It's a little bit harder to keep maybe the other clients from not talking about what they're learning, or talking about the people in the group. And then group conflicts may be present. That should be it. And then we'll go on to the couples counseling.
All right, I'll now be talking about couples and family counseling. This modality focuses on improving relationships and resolving conflict by examining how people interact with their family or partnership. Rather than focusing on one person's individual issues, this type of counseling looks at patterns within the relationship system that may be contributing to stress or conflict. So the main goal of couples and family counseling are to enhance communication, rebuild trust, and strengthen emotional connection. Counselors help clients identify unhealthy patterns and guide them toward more supportive and empathetic ways of relating to each other. This goal is to the goal of the counselor is to create a safe environment where everyone can feel seen and understood. Couples and family counseling can take place in a variety of settings. It's commonly offered in private practices, clinics, and family service centers, but recently it has been offered through telehealth sessions for better convenience of the group. The session often includes both partners with the entire family in a neutral environment that encourages open dialogue. The counselor's role is to maintain safety and balance during the discussion, to make sure everyone in the room has a voice. Usually sessions last between 45 and 90 minutes, but it just depends on what the family or couple has set up with the counselor prior. So there are a few techniques to this modality. The first is systems theory, which views the family as an interconnected system, meaning that if one person changes, everyone in the relationship is affected. Another is structural family therapy. which focuses on recognizing family roles and boundaries to improve the relationship. And then we also have emotion-focused therapy, which helps members and couples express their emotions more openly and then build stronger attachment bonds in the room, which then can be taken outside of the therapy room. So there are a few strengths to this approach, including improved communication, emotional expression, and then long-term relational satisfaction. However, there are a few limitations, such as challenges to scheduling, the emotional intensity of the sessions, and then power imbalance in relationships. It can actually be very dangerous for situations involving high conflict or abuse. But despite these challenges, couples and family counseling remains one of the most effective ways to create change in the relational system.
Next, we're going to discuss key similarities and differences between all the different modalities. The main similarity between all of them is that the goal is to improve client welfare. But in group couples and family modalities specifically, the role of interpersonal dynamics in either enhancing or deteriorating well-being is addressed in treatment and by the counselor. In individual counseling, the main disadvantage is that it is the most expensive form of therapy in comparison to the other modalities, with group therapy being the cheapest. It has some key advantages over the other ones. A main one is that the client has the full undivided attention of the counselor, because there aren't other people in the room that are competing for the counselor's attention. And so the individual has the opportunity to take the whole session to discuss their concerns and their history with the counselor without the interruption of others that are present. Relatedly, it is also the most private form of therapy. So there's complete confidentiality, and there's less likely for that confidentiality to be breached because there's less people in the room that are privy to the information that is being disclosed. For some individuals that are presenting to counseling with a highly sensitive personal trauma, individual therapy may be indicated in order to encourage full disclosure and processing, since relaying this information, if other people were present more than the counselor, may be difficult for the client for fear of being negatively perceived or judged. In group counseling, it is very effective compared to individual therapy. In multiple research studies, group therapy effectiveness is similar to that achieved in individual counseling. In addition, like I mentioned earlier, it is very affordable. So for individuals that faced cost barriers for treatment, group counseling is a great option to get treatment. A main benefit of group counseling is the role of validation. People typically benefit from hearing stories of other people that are going through the same experience or who have the same diagnosis. So this can create a support system where the client doesn't feel alone, which is important because many mental health conditions are very stigmatizing, and a lot of people feel isolated in their experience with mental illness. Kind of like mentioned earlier with individual counseling, for those that feel inhibited or that have social anxiety, group counseling may be challenging because of that, because of their discomfort with interpersonal reaction generally. But group counseling has been a very effective intervention for people with social anxiety and for other anxiety disorders specifically as well. For family and couples counseling, a main benefit of it is that it can increase communication between individuals with a related concern. So, for instance, in couples counseling, because the two partners are in the same room, the counseling session gives them an opportunity to work on those issues together. Couples counseling is a promising intervention for perinatal depression, since perinatal depression can sometimes be because intimate relationships are a core component in the development or maintenance of perinatal depression. So, having the partner involved in treatment can be really effective in alleviating perinatal depression symptoms. A disadvantage is that, there's not enough time for each client to explore their concerns or their history. But a key benefit is that it can initiate systematic changes in the client's life when compared to other modalities. It's specifically recommended for like marital discord or relationship difficulties, for couples counseling, but also family therapy has been shown to be very effective for teenagers with anorexia, perhaps because the teenager is a dependent in the household and is reliant on their parents for care. Involving the parents in the care usually results in better treatment outcomes where you have improved weight restoration, and then you also have improved satisfaction with care given by involving members of family in treatment. It also increases treatment compliance for the anorexic teen.
All right, to wrap everything all up, each counseling modality offers unique strengths. Individual counseling provides a private, more personalized approach that offers a deep self-reflection, whereas group counseling focuses on more connection, shared learning, and universality among the members. And couples and family counseling strengthens communications and promotes healthy relationships within a family system. Not one single method is best for everyone, but what matters most is matching the right approach to the client's needs and creating a supportive therapeutic environment. Choosing the right modality or combining them helps clients achieve meaningful and lasting change.